welcome back to Love, Lies, and Lace Friends, where we do reactions, reviews, and commentary on the YouTube channels you love to watch. Guys, are you subscribed to this channel? If you're not, you need to be. Hit your notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a video, when I go live, and drop another video for you. Also, follow me on Instagram. That way you can keep up with what I'm doing, okay? If you enjoy channels like this and commentary, consider becoming a member. Otherwise, guys, Bougie Gang Gang, it's an open thing. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so you can participate in the chats. And I will see you next time I hit that live button. Okay? Take care. Bye. Hey guys, how are you?
You could be doing a post of being on my page, bitch, cause I ain't got nothing for you nothing ass bitches.
Morning. Hey guys. Lisa Holly says she loves it over here. Good morning. We love you over here. Okay, how about that? Happy Tuesday. Hey Kiki. Hey Live, Love, Lakay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Who's the gang stars? Miss HLS. Pearls of Wisdom. OG gang star over here. India, what's going on? Okay, gang stars. India, not disappointing. Changing up that avatar. Okay. You know what? I just always stick with the same thing. If I change it, like I change it for a while, but I love seeing all the new pictures. Fran, guess what? It's Pisces season. I know. I know. One of my siblings has a birthday coming up in March. So I have Pisces, Aquarius, and Taurus. My older siblings are all stair steps. So they're like 13 months apart and then 12 months apart. So the oldest, then 13 months is the number 2, and then 12 months is number 3. And then I'm like almost 7 years after that. And then our youngest sister is 9 years. So yeah. So my parents were like, boom, boom, boom. Pisces, Taurus, and what did I just say? One's a Taurus, one's a Pisces, and one's I forgot what the other one is. Girl. Anyway, my youngest son is going to be 25. He will be 30. Wait, what does that say? I can't see. My youngest son is February 25th. Okay. And JS is giving us a 10 milestone, a 10-month milestone. Congratulations. Thank you for supporting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, yeah, my two older sisters are both born in April, like 6 days apart. One's a Taurus and one is it Aries? How did I forget that quick? Um, let's see. Good morning, everyone. Gosh, guys, I'm telling you, I cannot wait for Lambo to get just like a little bit older because having a puppy is like legit no joke. The waking up, it's been kind of 3:30 in the morning for the past few weeks, and it really does mess me up. Um, I'm so glad we were really debating when we picked up Lambo, Farah and I. The lady warned us we had two puppies in hand, and she really was like, don't do it. And you already have another dog at home. Um, it might have been fine, but I still probably would have had a lot of, I would have been suffering from lack of sleep. Anyway, um, my oldest is an Aquarius, just turned 25. My OM, my mom is a leap year baby, maybe my OM. Maybe my mom is a leap year baby. She'll be 80. And my sister, lots of Februaries. Very nice. Um, I hope I'm not getting sick, guys. Anyway, let's get into it because I don't want to drag this out way too long. Yesterday was weird. We're gonna check in with my jazzy life real quick, but we're not gonna stay here long because I wanted to show you guys something on TikTok. This girl is going viral about her story. She's got 1 million followers already. It's kind of crazy, but she lives in Atlanta. Her husband was a total scammer. You guys may have started hearing about this because it is kind of a little bit all over the place. There's no real good place to jump into this story because ma'am has been recording lots of video. Yes. Have you guys talked about this? I kind of feel bad for her because he does sound like a complete and total liar. You said you're hooked. I'm going to try to get all the way caught up because I was in there for almost an hour. Because I went ahead and just found her page because I like to kind of go to the source. Um, but yeah, her channel is like it's blowing up basically, right? Her TikTok page, right? Anyway, I feel like this is another cautionary tale, and she admittedly was making thirsty moves because she said she knows, like, don't even bother to come and tell her she ignored the red flags, but someone needs to hear this. Somebody somebody someone needs to hear this. It took me 8 hours to watch the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole book. It's a whole damn podcast. It's a whole damn Kindle. It's like if you were going to buy a book on Kindle and you were going to have someone read to you for 8 hours, you may as well just watch this for free because it's a whole romance novel gone wrong. Okay, so yeah, you guys were on track with this, right? Anyway, let's go to Jasmine first. Let's hear what sis has to talk about. Sis is still weird. Yesterday, I'm not even going to bother you with what happened yesterday. She said she got some pizzas to the house and it had one of the reactors' names on it who obviously cover her channel. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was flipping out about it. And then she said she was gonna give it to the kids. Who? I'm sorry. If you got an anonymous pizza at your house, any of you guys, right? All of a sudden you get an anonymous pizza at your house and it's on the floor or whatever, a stool, whatever you got outside your front door.
What makes you like, would you even begin to entertain eating it? What if it's got pee pee, saliva? It could have anything in that box. A bug could have crawled in it. There was a time we got a food delivery and they left it. We have a chair, like a big chair outside the front door. I don't think we had, maybe we didn't have that yet. I'm not sure. But now when I know like Walmart home delivery or something is coming, if Walmart home delivery is coming, I have a cooler and I will leave it outside with ice packs in it and leave a note like leave order here, right? And then put the cold items or whatever, like however you want to do it. I'll sometimes put the big cooler, small cooler, right? Don't leave my shit on the floor, on the ground, right? Food, I always open the door. I know it's coming. We answer the door. I don't like my food being left on the ground. Common sense would say put it on the chair, right? Anyway, she said that a damn pizza came to the house yesterday and she said she was going to give it to the kids. I'm like, girl, we know you getting ready to throw that thing in the microwave and you are going to kill that pizza, okay? Those kids don't even have they don't stand a chance with that pizza. So I don't even know. It's stupid. I'm not going to replay it, but I did see this morning. She says she's tired. So I'm wondering if this is going to be something interesting. If it's not, we're going to just go right on over to TikTok. Okay. You know, I like it when Jasmine's acting crazy. She says she got
Hey y'all.
from somebody. Nobody cares.
Oh, wow. Who the hell is laughing? What's so funny? Hey y'all. Is it late? What time is it? It's 9:43. I'm really tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. My back is hurting. My back is throbbing. The kids, they don't
Whoever,
now, so
if there's someone who sent her flowers, they better watch out.
He just came in here and he just had a flu. I need a back massage, like really bad. I think Chris left his thing in there. I think he did. I'm really thinking about going to get it. My back is hurt, but my kids, they're still here. They're still awake.
Let's see.
Go to sleep, get some rest. I need to. I'm just tired. Oh my God, what is up with these weird reactions?
I don't know what's going on.
What is so funny? What's going on?
I'm sure they probably edited this because I don't see anything that's. My bad.
He come here doing the same thing. He's talking to me.
She's always tired. I know. Let's come on. Can we get into it? Like,
she just walk around here like in her stuff.
All right, we might have to just go ahead and get over to TikTok because she's not talking about anything
interesting. Like, oh, you just never know who you marry. But you better figure out everything before marrying anybody. I tell myself,
what is she talking about this too? Hold on.
Damn, I was just in there and I told myself to get some water. Bring me a bottle of water. I have a really bad headache though, y'all. I might have to get up, take some time also. Because that was me. I've been addicted to whatever, right? That was my post.
Okay, so allegedly Jasmine has fallen down the rabbit hole of the lady on TikTok. Let's just get a high level of that way if you want to watch it, you want to know more about what's going on with this lady, you'll know. I'm getting ready. I want to really find out a little bit more about her story. When she was talking about just the scamming of it all, he honestly, he might very well be a pathological liar, but he also might be a scammer. Which I don't know. I guess you could say that's probably like, is that the same thing? I don't know. But this lady's going viral. Let's listen in. So apparently Jasmine, Jasmine and what's her face, live over there on TikTok a lot. Anyway, apparently she heard of this too. She was just showing that. Jasmine, obviously, it's sad because Jasmine didn't even get any view. Like, she got 2,500 views. I don't even know if anyone stayed to watch and gave her more than a couple of minutes. You see, like, literally we were there for 3 minutes. her stuff has gotten so boring, it's like unwatchable. To me, someone else might love it. I mean, I like a good rant session, and if there's no action and you're just reading comments, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care what Jazzy Fam has to say. Is anyone with me on that? Like Jazzy Fam, I don't care. The maybe something slips through the comments every now and again, and there's something interesting in the comments, but for the most part it's like, unless Jasmine is having a moment, I'm not really interested. Yeah, she said he's a pathological liar. Are most scammers pathological liars, or like, what do you think? Because he sounded kind of a little scammerish too. It's one thing to lie, but it's also one thing to produce fake documents, all of the things. This TikTok lady is what we're watching now. Yeah, we were going to go over to this anyway, but I'm like, you know what? Since Jasmine's not hitting on anything, I think he was a con. I really do. I think he was a scammer. It was sounding like, sis, you got scammed, boo. It's okay to call him a pathological liar because I think that's symptomatic of him being a scammer. But I think he scammed your ass. I really do. All right, let's listen and we'll talk about it. Okay. This is kind of like her introductory high level overview, because ma'am has a lot of, maybe there's over 20, I don't know, there's a lot of TikToks, and it would take us hours to go through it. So let's listen to this, and then you guys let's just talk about it. I'll drop her channel because she's got lots of stories about what happened. I'm like, girl, she said she ignored everything. He has made a video. He has. What's his name? That might be better. I wonder what he's going to say. I'm intrigued. All right, you guys listen to this because some of you have never seen this. You're on part 32. Okay. 52 parts. It's a lot, right? All right, you guys listen. Some people haven't seen this yet. He has made a video. Do you know his name, sis?
Okay, so things that my pathologically lying ex-husband lied about. Backstory. I'm gonna try to get as much of this as I can into this video, because I hate when people say follow for part 2, but I'm gonna try. All right, backstory number 1. We met in March of 2020. Georgia got shut down, locked down 2.5 weeks later. We got married January of 2021, and we were divorced August of 2021. So keep in mind that this story is spanning March of 2020 until about June of 2021, because I kicked him out the house on his birthday. So we met online, Facebook dating and Hinge. I will never do online dating again. But that is where I met him. My tire blew on 285 just before Boulder Crest, on my way to our first date. Clearly that was a sign. I didn't listen. But my tire blew, and he met me at a gas station. We were supposed to be meeting at Cheesecake Factory, but because the tire blew, he met me at a gas station, fixed my tire, then took me to go get another tire, paid for it. And I just thought, oh my God, this is the beginning of a beautiful romantic story. Boy, was I wrong. So, things he lied about. Every morning he would get on the phone with his brother. We'll call his brother John. He would get on the phone with John, and he would be like, hey, babe, John said good morning. And I'm in the bathroom doing my hair because I still had to go to work at this time. And so I would just say, hey, John, call out, hey, John. And, he would relay back and forth what I said to John, what John said to me. I never actually talked to John on the phone. And so he would be like, I can't wait for COVID to be over. Me and my girl, we're going to come to see y'all. I can't wait for Auntie to meet her. Side note, his parents are deceased, excuse me. So he was like, I can't wait for you guys to meet her. Like, I know I'm gonna marry her. I know it. He said everything I wanted to hear. Love bombing 101. This man wrote the book. So he talked to his brother every day. He talked to his friends every day in front of me. He would be on the phone laughing, cutting up, cracking jokes, telling them, hey, she said, hey, just having conversation, like a normal conversation. I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until he got kicked out of my house in June of 2021 that I found out every single phone call was made up. He was never on the phone.
I'm like, who was he talking to? Was he just sitting there talking to himself? I'd be afraid he was crazy. Well, to me, I'm not that type of person. My husband's on the phone with someone, but I've known my husband for a very long time. I know he's not playing on the phone, but you know what I mean? Like, when he's talking to people, they don't have to speak to me. You know what I mean? I don't care. Like, because when I'm on the phone, I want to have my conversation. Like, it's nothing worse than sitting on the phone and like everyone in the house is talking to you. And it's like, I'm on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I heard that the ex-wife is going to speak out and confirm the lady's story because he did the same to her. Wow. Okay, so he's a weirdo. But somehow there are some women out here that are open to this kind of nonsense. She was desperate. She turned a blind eye to everything. She knew he was a liar. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, how long do you go with the lie and then you want to, you know what I mean? Look, she got herself 1 million followers on TikTok, so maybe she'll write a book. You know what I mean? Like, usually with modern phones, you can sometimes hear the other voice, even if you can't make out the conversation, right? Or if you have the phone, you have the volume up loud. But I'm a earbuds person. You're not going to hear who I'm talking to, and I'm always multitasking. So I could be talking to someone, and girl, I'm sending an email. I've got to multitask. There's nothing I can do. I could be editing a damn video. I might even be listening to YouTube and talking on the phone, have it playing in the background because I've got premium. And premium will play in the background if you have premium, you can keep your YouTube in the background if you're on the phone. That's just how bad it is for me. Are you gonna watch the whole? I'm going to try to get through it today. Yeah. I mean, I was intrigued. If it starts going left and it's kind of like, okay, I can't really relate, but I did want to watch it for content purposes. Because I was intrigued by her story on how and when it actually went left, and I guess some of the scenarios, but I'm like, girl, you got to listen to your instincts. Anyway, let her talk and you guys listen to this. I was just waiting to see. I think Aisha said he did a video. Does anyone know who he is so I can find him I would love to hear what he has to say. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
I don't know. Those of you who are watching, you're probably like, there's no way. Listen to what I'm saying. Everything I'm telling you can be verified. Every single phone call he ever had was made up. The phone calls where he called to pay his car off, made up. The phone call to the realtor when we were looking at houses, made up. The phone call to the bank for them to release the money for the house that he signed his name for, made up. Every phone call was made up. His brother, every day, he and his brother had not spoken since 2015 when his mother died. I found that out later on. He made up every phone call. He had no friends, but yet every phone call would be my friend this, my friend that.
I'm dying, y'all.
The second lie, his job. He told me when I first met him out the gate that he was a VP at his company. He had been transferred from California to Georgia, and he was in the process of, getting himself settled. He was looking to buy a house. His job was VP of a major condiment company. I won't say the name because I don't want to get sued. But he said that his job was VP at that company. It is fair to note he paid every bill. He paid all the bills. He gave me spending money. Like, even though we were quarantined, locked down in my little townhouse, again, this story was always he's trying to buy a house. So when we got together, it was we need to buy a house together. Like, this is forever. We're going to have a family. Let's go ahead and find a house. So the lie is that he was a VP at his company. And he maintained that lie every day. Truth is, he was a temp. He called me from work all the time. I may have to make a different video to explain how he was able to lie with the work stuff.
They say his name is
Jerome. He would call me and he would pretend to reprimand employees who couldn't see that he had a Bluetooth thing in his ear. He would pretend to reprimand them in front of me. He would pretend to take phone calls from the company president who needed his help on something. He forged emails that he showed me from the company president asking him, you know, we need to get this up and running. We need to do this project. We need to do that. It is scary how brilliant he was and how much energy he put into the lie. But he was a temp. He was a temp forklift driver. There's nothing wrong with a forklift driver. But he was pretending to be a VP.
He lied.
Third lie, housing. He told me he was looking to buy a house. We got together and we started looking at houses. I found a beautiful 5-bedroom, 6-bath house in Smyrna, Georgia that was gorgeous. It was brand new construction build, and I love the house. The house was listed for $699,000. He showed me paperwork from Chase Bank saying that he was approved for a mortgage for $750,000.
They said Jerome JC Rome
I watched
McCoy
as he put in an all-cash offer on this $699,000 house. I watched him sign his name to a legally binding document for an all-cash offer. The reason why the house fell through was because the builder did not want to finish the basement. We were requesting that the basement get finished. He did not want to, so he declined our offer and took the offer of another couple who didn't need the basement finished. That's the only reason why that house fell through. I see now where God's grace protected me because, well, it really protected him because legally I was not his wife, so I was not on the mortgage for that home. So third lie had to do with housing. Fourth lie had to do with baby. So I got pregnant, lost the baby. I was sad at the time. I am not anymore. But lost the baby, had to have a D&C. When I was in the hospital, the doctor called him to let him know, you know, she'll be discharged because again, this is COVID, so you could not go in the hospital at the time when I had the surgery. So the doctor called him.
Girl, hold on. Did I close the TikTok page? What happened to my TikTok page? Oh, here it is. I don't know what happened to the TikTok page. Hold on. That's weird. I guess she did a live.
Okay, house together. Like, this is forever. We're going to have it up and running. We need to do this project. We need to do that. It is scary how brilliant he was. He was able to lie with the work. Locked down in my little townhouse. Again, this story was always saying that he was approved for a mortgage for $750,000. A legally binding document for an all. God's grace protected me because, well, it really protected him.
This is who they say the guy is. I don't know if this is him or not. I'm gonna be honest. This is what they're saying on TikTok. I don't know how they found him because I haven't heard enough yet to get any clues. Uh Ah, girl. Uh uh he seems weird. He's got a bunch of weird pictures. So he's like a light industrial guy. I guess that might be Mama. Mama, you know I love you. Look at Martin Lawrence. Okay, that might be her. Jerome JC Rome McCoy. I don't know. That's what they're saying on TikTok. I don't know if this is him or not. Let me see if I can find something else.
Legally, I was not his wife, so I was not on the mortgage for that home. So
I guess at the time, right?
Third lie had to do with housing. Fourth lie had to do with baby. So I got pregnant, lost the baby. I was sad at the time. I am not anymore. But lost the baby, had to have a D&C. When I was in the hospital, the doctor called him to let him know, you know, she'll be discharged. Because again, this is COVID. So you could not go in the hospital at the time when I had the surgery. So the doctor called him and said, you know, she's going to be released in an hour and a half. He pretended to be his own executive assistant. And so he said, you know, Mr. James is in a board meeting, but I'm his executive assistant, David. How can I help you? You can let me know what's going on. Obviously, the doctor wouldn't do that. So she just said, you know, please let him know that Miss So-and-so will be ready for pickup in an hour and a half. He told the doctor he's in a board meeting until about for about another 30 minutes, and then he'll be on his way. I should have only been in the hospital for an hour and a half. I was there for 3 hours. Because again, he was a temp forklift driver, so he couldn't get off work. But I didn't know that at the time. So those are just some of the things that my pathological lying ex-husband did. There's so much more. I have severe PTSD. And I know it's my fault. I know that I did not trust myself. I did not pay attention to the United Nations of red flags. I did not pray. And I am paying the consequences for that. So there's nothing anyone can say to me, girl, you was dumb. I was desperate. I wanted to be married. I wanted a family. And I thought it was my turn. And instead, I
mean, you look, it was your turn. It was your turn to get hoodwinked and bamboozled. I mean, at the end of the day, that's it. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, it was your turn. You made it your turn. You know, I mean, and maybe this was something you needed to go through. You know what I'm saying? I think Sir did a video. Let's take a look. Are these stitches? I still get very confused by TikTok. So let's see what's going on here. All right, let's see.
Rumor I'm gonna address the rumor REESAMTEESA ex-wife who straight line to y'all. It's sad.
Wait,
Because
this is part
it's
2. Okay.
And we went to marriage counseling, didn't work, and we broke. I'm gonna address the rumor REESAMTEESA ex-wife who straight line to y'all. It's sad. Because it's completely false of everything. More to the point, I have
Let me find.
Yes, he would do that. He did that a lot, actually. He'd be like, I'll break it down to how I got arrested. Shit. We was going to pick up my son. We was going to Augusta to pick him up. They argued the whole way there and the whole way back. Now my son I'm in the back seat. They both in the front seat. We about damn near.
This is a ghetto mess.
Is all his people from Augusta.
Oh God,
You
they're
know what I'm
from
saying?
Augusta.
When I
That's where
wasn't around,
Nesto's
so
from.
I'm happy when I was there. I was able to keep some type of peace, but he hated us. He hated my mother's kids. He did not like.
Oh,
He's
his
a
ex.
weird
This
dude.
is the ex-wife. This is okay. These are his ex-stepkids. Okay, got it. All
Been
right.
seeing posts about.
We gonna have to piece this together. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I didn't know that the man had done. Let's listen to this first. Is this supposed to be the guy? Because
I'm
this
gonna
didn't look
address
like him.
the rumor REESAMTEESA ex-wife who straight line to y'all. It's it's sad because it's completely false of everything. More and to the point, I haven't decided who I'm gonna talk to exactly or go on whose page or whatever. But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know that she lied about everything. Follow her, don't follow her. That's up to you. All that stuff she said, it's complete lies. I'm gonna address the rumor.
All right, Jerome McCoy 713. This is crazy. See, this is the thing about TikTok that is like, uh-uh. Okay. TikTok will have you sitting up here for hours and hours following this one and that one. Okay, we gonna figure this out. Let me see what you guys are saying. I need to find. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um Ma'am came off super duper desperate. It's unfortunate for her. Like she said she wanted to be married, and that's what happened. You got married, but you married a bum. Um those pics were from 3 decades ago. If that was him, girl, bye. Huh. And she got pregnant by him, and she's like, I'm not upset anymore. You got pregnant by this bum who dragged you. You lost the baby and had to go have surgery. You gonna feel that for a long time. Like saying you're not upset anymore about it is like, girl, it's okay to be upset. He's a bum. You got tricked. I'm embarrassed for her. I know. What's the book? Someone said you need to start a book. A book about what? She's documenting all of it on TikTok. I would I would pay one of those ghostwriters. You watch my TikToks and you write me a book. I'll proofread through it. But nobody, I mean, it's oral these days. I'm too nosy. He would have had a problem. Absolutely. You would have figured it out, right? A mess. A mess. Um this is bad. I'm trying to see if I can find him. Jerome McCoy. Is this I hate when I can't find the original video. I wonder if he took his videos down. Anyway, so I guess he was married before. They're saying that his son is saying that he hated the other stepkids. Let's see. Is Risa T She's so dramatic. Okay, let's go back over to her page real quick. She's so dramatic. And I get it. I know she's upset, but ma'am, you got to relax, sis. 51 TikToks about this participating in this activity could result in you and others getting hurt. Okay. Um all right, let's go to I really want to hear her part 1. Part 1. Okay, let's see.
Who the fuck did I marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also
Facebook has
matched
dating.
on Hinge.
Is this
Hi,
Oh.
and welcome. We all know why you're here. Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of Who the Fuck Did I Marry? So I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought. All right,
My
who
bad,
the
y'all.
fuck
I
did I
keep
marry?
messing it up.
Please nickname that he
Let's
called
leave it
himself.
alone.
Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that.
Are people still meeting online? I mean, I guess you can still meet people online because we're on computers so much, but are people still like, is that back to a thing? Because since the world is back open, aren't people still aren't people going out and meeting people at the club, at the cafe, at the comedy spot, in the mall, living your life? Or is dating online, or is it still like hookups? Because I would just imagine it'd probably be easier to hook up online if all you're looking for is a hookup. But you got to put some work in. If you want to find a quality person, I guess even online, you got to put some work in. If you want to do lazy dating, lazy matching, lazy prospects, then I guess try your luck out online. But you got to get dressed up, show up, put in the work to find a quality person to date and consider. Because not saying that there's not quality people online, but you got to put in some work. And work also means like getting out your damn house and also asking the right questions and not ignoring the signs that somebody may or may not be who they say they are and not on the same track. So, you know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with meeting someone online, but you can't ignore the signals. Just like if you meet someone at the bookstore, you can't ignore the signs either. You know what I mean? I think in today's day and time, sometimes if you're the back of your mind is telling you to do a quick Google search, do a quick Google search. It can't hurt anything.
I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me
Oh,
that
that's
he had
so good,
just moved to
Bailey.
Georgia from California, from San
Look at that
Diego. His
success
job.
story. I mean, if you guys watch Karen Britchick, her name is Karen. What's her name? Her channel's called Karen Britchick. I forget what her last name is at this moment, but it's Karen something. She's a black lady. She married a white guy named Michael. I think they were working for the same company once upon a time. She was in London, England, and he said he was going to come take her out to eat. And sure enough, he got on a plane and went to meet her in London. And I'm skipping the whole entire story, but they ended up falling in love, and she moved from London back to America, and to America rather. And obviously she's very happy. So yeah, there are some wonderful stories of meeting people online, but you got to put in that work. You got to put in that effort, and you can't ignore the signs just because you want something at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So let's listen to a little bit more. We're not going to park on this too long.
had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new
Her name is
regional manager
REESAMTEESA,
for
by
a
the way.
major condiment company that is based here in Georgia.
REESATEESA.
I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half-brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this, and he just thought that was like, wow, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL. I know about college. Go Dogs. But I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, good for you.
And now he's
an
an executive.
Anything about arena football, and I believe I did tell him that I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me,
do they even do arena football anymore?
My job is paying for my housing, and they are helping me to look for a house. He was like, right now I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house.
Oh, so he was homeless.
In Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, that's great.
Come stay with me.
You're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work, and this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot.
So there's no corporate housing. Like you said, they're helping you find a job. He should be at a hotel or at a 30-day apartment. They should have set you up in temporary housing, right?
A lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me. He eventually asked me out on a date. Our first date was set for Saturday, March 7th,
he told you
2020.
Wait a second. He told you all that stuff about his mother, his family, everybody, and you guys hadn't even been on a date yet? He just was dropping all of his tea on the phone with you?
He asked me what was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures because, that's always an issue with online dating. Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So on my way to our date, I took 285, and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom, and I lost control of my car. Thank God that not thank God, but I knew what to do. So I did not crash, but my tire blew out. So I called him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station. And I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing. He kind of paused. He got quiet. And he was like, tell me exactly where you are. Drop your pin. So I dropped the pin, and he came to the gas station. Got out the car, and I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures, that I was like, oh my God, he's actually attractive, because he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Ah! Oh my God, he's actually
Also,
attractive.
I
Okay.
apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had 2 children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20, and he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids, but that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia was a new beginning for him. She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, he was like, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in there because that will come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, I would think people talk about.
Look, I know people need therapy and stuff, but would you ever put this much of your how I got done, how I got bamboozled, flim-flammed, and scammed online? Would any of you ever tell this story? And I know she's wearing her damn flexi, her big ginormous flexi rod, but ma'am, you got 13 million views, sis. You got 1 million likes. Honey.
About in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was,
what was it like? Wow, I'm giving him some tonight, or like, I didn't have to pay for my tire.
Good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter.
I want to know, did you give him the boots
into the Cheesecake Factory?
Did you give him the boots the first night, sis? That's what I want to know.
Oh my God,
you got to have AAA. AAA pays for itself every year. Y'all, do you think she gave him the boots the first night? Did he come through and slay the dragon? Did he come through and slay that putty cat?
Butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies.
He didn't.
So I had butterflies.
She had butterflies. He showed up. He came to the rescue, and he paid. What? Girl, I could tell. She was in distress. She was on the side of the road. Homie said, drop your pin. He came through and changed the tire, and she dropped her panties. He took her out to eat for a good high-calorie meal, and she dropped them panties, and it was a wrap. I mean, such a cliche. Oh, my God.
We go in. There's a long...
Let me tell you, y'all, any of you young dolls out here listening to my voice right now, it's a flex to keep your panties on. Keep your panties on and see how long he shows up. You don't want to play with him now. Don't play, but don't put yourself in a position to feel like you got to drop your panties, okay? Drive your own car. Make sure you have a timeline of when to go home, but it is definitely a flex to not give up the panties for at least a couple of weeks. even if it's a couple of months. It's really a personal decision, but don't do it on the first night and be mad when you think things are going well and then you find out he's really not all that, and you've just added something else to your body count, and or gotta end up going to the clinic, or you know what I mean, you went from one very cute situation where maybe you've got one or two kids and now you've got two or three. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is a flex to make him really want you, because if he really, really, really wants you, he's going to drop every other chick that he's talking to. If he really wants you, he's going to dump every other female he's talking to be with you. And if it's not worth it for him to put in the work, then he's going to just fade away, and you're not going to feel bad because you got slayed. And then now you're thinking about that you want it, and then you're going to settle for friends with benefits because you know he came through and slayed you, and now you want that thing, and you're willing to accept friends with benefits rather than whatever. And then you got to go to a sorority function or something, business after hours, and you hear that he's getting married all of a sudden. He's got the big wedding in the newspaper coming up, and it's all over Instagram. Okay. Meanwhile, he was over there beating you down, and Miss Thang was over there across town not giving him anything, and that's who he ended up marrying. Okay.
Wait. And so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for.
Oh.
He tells me, you know, I believe at the time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like, that is what I want. He's like, I'm as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be for real, because the first time, you know, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so he was like, what is it that you want?
I thought she said that the corporate relocation folks were helping him find a house. If your company moves you from a location where you have a house, they're going to help you find another house. They're not going to buy you a house, but they will relocate you to a real estate agent who will help you find another home. If you're not looking to move to buy and you're moving to rent, but relocation, I've moved people across the country before. I've been in talent acquisition for a long time. If somebody is promoted or somebody accepts another job within the company and we are relocating them, if they owned a home, the relocation services will help you with, depending on the level of your package, the relo service may even buy your home. Okay. And not buy you a home, but they will buy the home that you need to leave to relocate your job if your house doesn't sell within 6 months. It just really depends on your level in a company. But he's saying he's a damn executive. So it's like, he's telling you he wants a wife and a house. A house shouldn't have even been part of the dialogue, considering he's saying he's moving and he's in the process of purchasing. So that was a lie right there, but she didn't really catch it. Because he's saying all the things she wanted to hear over at the Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, an executive liar.
I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part 1. Please excuse the hair, but here is part 1 of... Hi. All right. Who the fuck did I marry? Part 2. So we both put on the table what it is that we wanted. We both had established we were dating for marriage. We were not dating just to date. We were not trying to be friends with benefits and none of that. So the dinner at Cheesecake Factory went really well. We laughed, we joked, we talked about people, which is kind of up my alley, my sense of humor. It was a good vibe. So at the end of the date, or excuse me, at the end of dinner, we sat in his car and he played this song for me by John Legend. I don't know the name of the song by the
We're
time
just
this video posts, I
ordinary
will put the name at the bottom. I
people.
can't remember the song. I just remember that John Legend was talking about, I think I met my wife tonight. And I thought it was a sign.
Girl, he was trying to get that putty cat. Okay. He wanted to see what you were working with. And sis, you fell for it, honey. You fell for it. Okay.
So I was like, oh my God. So
Oh
anyway, we ended
my
up
God.
sitting in the car talking just about life
Hey,
and
boo, Winter, I see you, boo
experiences until
boo.
about midnight. So during this conversation, he again is telling me how it was, what it was like living in California, how he went out there. He went to San Diego State. He played football for San Diego State. He talked about how, he loved it out there, so he stayed. That's when he joined the company. And then he explained that he also did arena football, but only did it for about 2 or 3 years. He claims that while he was doing arena football, the team that he was
Bro, they
on
said he is a forklift
won
operator.
a championship. But again, keep in mind, I don't know anything about arena football. So I was like, okay, I didn't know that they had championships. And he was like, he got a little offended, like, yeah, they got championships. And, he was on that team. So he talked to me about how he worked at Apple. He worked something in the IT area of Apple, but it within the store. Again, it was one of those, it's like when I tell people.
What? Okay, so he was in store tech services or something, maybe.
I used to work at Amazon. I really wasn't paying much attention to it. Why? So we talked about all that. We talked deeply into what happened with the ex-wife. It's because I asked. He was not volunteering.
On the first date, all this
information. So in other words, I get very uncomfortable when men start talking about their ex a lot. That's not what happened. I was asking questions because I was really trying to figure out, okay, are you ready for a relationship, or are you still missing her? So we talked about that. We talked about my exes. That was a mistake I made because I talked about how I dated at one point in time somebody I worked with. That will come back later. And he seemed real cool about it. He was like, that was before me and blah, blah, blah. So the conversation was good.
That was before me. There is no you. I don't even know you, sir. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't really care what you think at this moment. You know what I mean? You should never, can I just talk about this? Any of you dating dolls out here, do not run your body count down. Because the man, I'm gonna tell you this straight up and down, and you can ask your brothers, your uncles, or anybody. Men who are in love with you, they don't want to know anything about you taking your clothes off in front of anybody else. They don't want to know. They don't want to hear about somebody who dragged your heart around and kicked it over a fence. They're gonna you're gonna chip away a little bit at the respect and you're going to chip away a little bit at the respect that they have for you, because men that are in love with you, they almost have you on like a little bit of a pedestal. And it's not to lie, it's none of their business. You shouldn't want to know who they chased around the bedroom or who they were playing under the sheets with either. Like, just to be honest, like everything should pick up where you met. Like, spending a lot of time talking about exes and past sex escapades is really stupid. It's none of your business. You know what I mean? Life begins when you meet that special someone, and that's it and that's all. Everything else should be very much behind and done. Okay? I'm telling you, the man that's going to love you, just like your brother and your father don't really want to hear about your dating and your escapades out in the streets, your future husband won't either. It's like repellent. Okay. They are not going to want to hear it. All right. So she was doing way too much, giving up way too much information. He was trying to make you feel comfortable. And she was falling for okey doke. I haven't been in a relationship and I'm not really sure what to do with a man. Basics. Unfortunately, sis may not have a lot of experience. And I'm going to say that based on the fact that she got a date and she was calling her friends and all excited because she had a date. And that to me right there says sis hadn't been dating very much. So she was happy she done got someone to want to meet up or take her out. And I mean that happens. Sometimes people go through dry spells. There's nothing wrong with that. But to me, that just tells me she wasn't an experienced dater or she didn't have a lot of play because of how excited she was to be going on an internet date. It wasn't like I just called my homegirl and I told her I was going out. I met a guy, and we're gonna go meet up. She was excited at the prospect because sis hadn't been out in a minute. Okay. So sis was primed for this situation. Unfortunately, you got to be cool, y'all. You meet someone and he seems like he's all that. Just be excited on the inside, but remain cool. Okay. Just like you're over there and you just found your dream car for a great price. Don't get all excited with the salesperson because then they're going to give you a hard time. Okay. You're going to have to do fierce negotiate. You don't want to do all that. You're the prize. You're the one with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get too excited.
Midnight comes and I go home. Yes, I went home.
Girl.
We ended up talking.
Oh, so she didn't give up the
Our
boots the
first
first
date was
night.
March 7th. And within about 2.5 weeks, Brian Kemp, our governor, shut Georgia down. We were going to be on lockdown.
That was Brian
So
Kemp's
during
fault.
those 2.5 weeks, we talked every day. We went out again at Red Lobster. I remember Red Lobster. But everything was going
It's
great.
the Red Lobster and Cheesecake Factory for me.
Was where are we going to quarantine? So the question was, are we going to quarantine at his place, which he had like a studio type of situation, like it clearly where he was staying. I was like, it's like a studio apartment, but he kept telling me like this is temporary because I'm looking for a house. Like he showed me the email from a woman who worked at the company where she was out on maternity leave, but she was putting him in contact with a realtor to help him find a townhome or a single family house. So I was just like, okay, this is definitely temporary. Like he's not trying to.
Why does he have to show you receipts all the time? Why isn't it just I'm working with the corporate relocation services? Why if someone has to show you receipts all the time, if not because you're asking, but if you are dealing with people that feel like everything they say needs to be backed up with a receipt, that's a problem. Like I would be like, you don't have to like you don't have to show me anything. Like I don't even know you like that. Like that would be weird to me to feel like you got to show and back up everything with a receipt. Wouldn't you find that odd? Unless you're just like a receipts person, you love getting a receipt. But to me, I don't even need all that. Like, that's just either telling me that you're lying or there's something maybe about me you don't trust. I wouldn't want all those receipts. I'd be like, that's your business. I got my own place. You know what I'm saying?
Stay here long term. And she was apologizing in the email. I'm so sorry. This should have been taken care of before you got here, but it wasn't. Da, 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 da. I saw the email. I read it. I read the email. So the decision was, we're going to quarantine at the studio or we're going to quarantine in my house? First mistake I made. Well, there's a lot. But
so 2.5 weeks, quarantine's happening. And that's how you laid up and got pregnant. I was like, Lambo, what's going on? Did you guys hear Lambo?
this was a mistake I made. So ladies, caution moment. During one of our dates, because keep in mind, in those 2 weeks, we were seeing each other quite a bit. Nothing physical or anything like that, just two people who I thought were really on some, all right, let's see if this is going to grow into something. He came to my house. When he came to my house, I had a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome. He was in a studio. Now, I'm telling you guys all of this in order of how it happened. So some things I'm probably going to insert what I was thinking and the mistake I made. Can I turn this off? No. Okay, still need that. And I say that to say that I did not realize inviting him to my home probably made his eyes go, oh shit, she's a keeper. She got this 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse, and I'm in like a little studio. Yeah, let me go ahead and pursue this. What I need to do to quarantine here. The decision was made, quarantine at my house. So the state went on lockdown. He came and stayed with me in my home. And for the most part, in the initial beginning, it was fine. It was fine. The reason why I hesitate is because I grew up in the church. So for me, it was really like an internal struggle of.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. When he was talking about moving in with you, that was a convenient situation of 2.5 weeks. The state's getting locked down. You could have took your ass home, wherever you were from, wherever your people are from. If you grew up in the church, you should have been strong enough within yourself to be okay. There's nothing wrong with living alone. There's plenty of people who lived alone during the pandemic and did a lot of things. You were busy during the pandemic getting flim flam scammed. You should have relied on yourself and taken that time for yourself, taking that time to soft life like everybody else did. Girl, I was soft lifing like crazy. You know what I mean? I know the pandemic was very rough, but as far as, I'm going to say it like this, using my time to my benefit and soft lifing it and making bread and making banana bread and cooking and baking and getting my housewife homemaker on, homeschool, all of the things. I loved it. And I have not commuted back to work since. Okay. Loved it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Instead of taking that time for yourself, you were busy trying to find the comfort of somebody who was a scammer. That's her own fault.
Bruh, you always said you would never live with a guy unless he was your husband. And now you living with a dude and he ain't your husband. Like, it was a struggle for me because I knew better. And don't come for me. I'm just telling you the way I grew up. It was like that. It was not sitting right with me. But at the same time, I didn't want to quarantine by myself. I did not want to. So there we go.
Why?
So he moved in. We talked about the bills. Let me clear something up that I said in the other video where I said he paid all the bills. He paid all the household bills. He did not pay my car payment, my cell phone, or my car insurance. He paid the rent because my rent at the time was less than $1,000. He paid the utility bills. And so when he's telling me that he's a regional manager, I was like, wow, okay, so you got money.
Wow, you got money. Look how happy she is. Just saying that. Girl, I don't know what to think about ma'am. Ma'am, I don't know, has learned her lesson yet.
And so he paid all the household bills. So my check really was just taking care of me, myself, and I. And I am not, this is where it's not going to make me look good, but it's the truth. it was intoxicating to not have to worry financially about how to pay the bills. It was a wonderful feeling. And so I kind of pushed to the side the fact that, yeah, you shacking up, because it's like, but your page, you don't have to worry right now. Like, he's taking care of all of April's bills before April even comes, because this was still March. So we're living together, and I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, he's helping to cook and clean. And then we have a conversation about house. Is he still going to buy a house just for him? Or is he going to buy a house where it's for us? Because we are going to try to make this thing work, be official, get married, have a family. So the question now on the table is, what are we going to do? Because I didn't want to stay in Riverdale, Georgia. I did not want to raise a family there. I refused to have a baby in Clayton County. So,
can I say, she's never mentioned anything about being in love with him. Nothing about love. And you're sitting there trying. It's so funny to me how people out here, singles who've been single for a long time or failed relationships, like think that getting married is just some magic ceremony that puts you into a place where black love exists or love exists. It does not. It really does not. Marriage is a situation where if you don't like somebody, you gonna hate them by the time it's over. Okay, you really will. So I don't understand how this girl is even contemplating what she's going through. I have not heard one word about we fell in love, the sex was so good, this, that, and the third. It's all very transactional, and he's paying my bills, he's doing this, that, and the third. Marriage is amazing if you are in love with your mate. Marriage can be very much transactional, but who wants that? Who wants a business arrangement for a marriage? What? Nobody wants that. Like, I'm listening to her and I'm thinking to myself, you don't even know him. So now you're like, oh, he wants to know, he's asking you as the man. So what she's saying is, the question came up, am I buying a house for me or for us? The fuck, where's the ring at? That's how you ask me as a woman, am I buying a house for us or for me? You get that little velvet box out your pocket with some carrots, and you sit and have a conversation with me about how much you love me, how beautiful I am, how you can't imagine living your life without me, and how you want me to be the mother of your children. That's how you ask me about some damn real estate. Because if that's really the question, am I buying for me or us? Then it's not so much I'm not buying until we get married. It's more so, will you marry me, be my wife? And then the next step is whatever this is just weird. This is a very strange story. Now, obviously, that doesn't happen the same way for everyone, but she's talking about a situation where this man moved in with her. And then now there's a question on the table whether he's going to buy a house or not. So I'm speaking specific to this situation. But if a man is if the man doesn't have a plan, how can you be a wife to a man with no vision and no plan? He's coming to you and asking you what we're going to do, because he's trying to figure out, sis, are you along for this okey doke ass ride I'm getting ready to take you on? Because you can't possibly be believing what's going on here.
So the decision was made. Let's start looking for a house for both of us. Remember, he was already looking for a house for him. But then he was like, you know what? We're together. I plan to marry you. Let's look for a family home for the two of us.
I plan to marry you. So why didn't he just buy her a diamond ring?
He was like, this is how much I was approved for. That's when he showed me the Chase paperwork It was a letter stating that and it had the Chase emblem at the top. He showed me a letter stating that he was approved for 700. All right, who the fuck did I? All right, part 3. Who the fuck did I marry? So this is when he showed me a letter from Chase with the Chase logo at the top, stating that he had been approved for a mortgage for a $750,000 mortgage or a $750,000 house. So
I'm just wondering why he always had to show her receipts. That's all I'm saying.
He was like, we can't go over 750.
Absolutely.
And I said, I remember asking him, can you afford the mortgage on a $750,000 house? Because I know I can. This is when he explains to me, I told you how I played arena football. I invested my money really well. So he said, I have money that will.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say. First of all, if the bank approved you for $750 mortgage, ma'am, let's be serious here. If the bank approved him, then the bank has already deemed him credit worthy and have already pre-qualified him to afford a $750 mortgage, even though we know it's not valid, right? We know that this is a scam he's running, but I wouldn't have even asked him. He's telling you he's already approved. Just roll with it. It's not going to be on your credit. He said he's approved. So when you get pre-approved, they have you send a lot of information for the pre-approval. So you're saying you can't afford it. He wasn't asking you to afford it. He's just asking you to go for this flim flam ride, sis, which you did.
Will help pay for the mortgage. He was like, we're good. Like I'm
Girl, is
financially,
arena football even
okay.
Still a thing? I feel like arena football, is that even still a
for
thing?
$750,000 mortgage. So he told me that his money was in different savings accounts. He said he had an account with Chase Bank, he had an account with US Bank, and he had an offshore.
Well, she said he was paying bills. She said he was paying for the rent and household bills, like utilities and stuff like that. She said she didn't have to do anything. So why even bother to ask for a paycheck stub at that point? But she said she found out he was a forklift operator, which, I mean, that's fine if your guy works industrial warehouse. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But the lie was that he was an executive working for some sort of food company.
Account. This is what he told me. The offshore account, I was like, why? And he explained something about, the U.S. the U.S. imposes taxes on money when you have a certain amount in U.S. banks. He was like, so everybody knows that it's smart to have some money in an offshore account. Y'all, look, I live paycheck to paycheck. I was like, okay, that's whatever. I said, so you have the money to pay for a home. I'm also holding in my hand a letter from Chase saying that he was approved for $750,000. So I went off of what I saw. So we contacted a realtor. I won't say his name, but man, if he ever sees this TikTok, I owe this man such an apology. But we contacted a realtor who was based in Cobb County, because I was very adamant I wanted to move back to Marietta, Smyrna area in Cobb County, Georgia. He was fine with that. His whole
girl, she is driving her ass off, okay? We're going to, after this next TikTok, we're going to get up off of here because, yeah, I'm like, arena. Someone in the comments right here says arena football sends me every time. These ninjas would love to say they play some damn sis.
Okay, so this
you
is
had the
part 6
flexi rods in that tight for your hair to fall that flat.
So body through.
Girl, she's sitting up here at the job. She can't even make it through the workday without doing another damn TikTok.
Okay, part 5. Who the fuck did
we'll come back to this. Girl, sis is putting in so many damn episodes. We'll have to come back. Um it might not be tax evasion. I mean, he says he made money, right? And he didn't want to be taxed, which is weird because if you made the money even through a football contract, the money's already taxed when he's getting paid through his contracts, either his business manager, like, look, we're dealing with a big scammer right now. So some of the stuff he's saying doesn't make sense. But even NFL players, we don't know if they're getting paid 1099 or they're getting paid through the NFL in a regular monthly, bi-weekly, big, nice, large deposit. So if someone chooses to keep it money in an account in the Bahamas, there's nothing wrong with that. That money may have already been taxed through regular income tax. Now, the money that they make, if they're making interest in the Bahamas and they are a resident here, they may have to claim that money from monies that are in bank accounts not in the country if they are earning over a certain amount. But you know what I mean? Like it was almost like how them making it to be a big deal that Fani had money in her house. If she's making her money through her paycheck and she has amassed $10,000, how do we know that that money hasn't already gone through regular payroll tax and annual income tax withholdings? You know what I mean? Like we can't always just assume that everyone's money is some sort of under the table flim flam because like I said, watch those envelope stuffing videos. People who, save a certain amount of money or, people who save not in the bank, right? I don't know, girl. It's a lot of parts. Yeah, we don't have a lot of time for that today. Anyway, I'm gonna go live over on Real Talk Bougie because I got some other stuff to talk about. I did watch the other Ernesto video and I'm getting ready to go over there. So you guys join me over there in like 10, 15 minutes because I got to get the videos pulled up and I got to redact this one document. But I want to talk to you guys about the video that we talked about yesterday, Nesto and his 25 acres, which was very strange. And then I want to watch the bail hearing from June 26th with Crail Lewis because that was so funny. One more time to hear all of the names from Judge Manning. So if you guys want to entertain that, please join me over on Real Talk Bougie because Nesto said in the calls yesterday that it was that he got some clues about who was coming for him on the document from court that day. He got a chance to see some names, and some of those people are the people who are trying to set him up. And if only he can get a copy of the video, that will blow this case wide open. There's a video out there somewhere with someone who, one of his, I guess his daughter, LA, who is bipolar. Okay. Is Fane's court case still in session? Who's Fane? Who's that? Fane's, I don't know who that is. If he was showing all the documents, did he bother to show them tax documents? Girl, this lady got all the way to work, pulled her damn flexi rods out. Where are we leaving off?
Did I marry? So
I don't like how everyone is.
All right, part 4. So we go to Home Depot, we go to Lowe's.
I cannot.
Okay, so this is part 6.
She had them damn flexi rods. That hair is flat, okay?
Okay, so I just want to clear up some things that I realize is kind of creating some confusion. So just allow this video to serve as a stop sign. Let's clarify. First of all, the story, background. He was born in Philly, raised in Philly, and moved to Augusta. Story is that he moved to Augusta for high school.
Yeah.
After high school, he went to college at San Diego State.
Girl, we don't care.
All right, part 8 of Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
I would be so embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed even watching this. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, funny. Okay. I was like, what is going on? Okay. Hold on. Let me find India's comment again. So now I can actually like make it make sense. Cause I was like, girl. Oh no, I think she's actually one N. So you were right. But I was like, what? My mind was elsewhere. My mind's telling me no. I was not able to comprehend what was going on at that moment. I was somewhere else. Let me see. Forklift. Where is that comment? I hope I'm not getting sick. That's all I have to say. Arena football sends me. Arena football is it's one of those that guys who really had dreams of. Okay. When it said fame, I was like, I know someone with that last name, so it just kind of threw me off. No, it's not. So it was just a hearing. So there was the motion to quash. So the Trump election interference case, I believe, is going on. However, the reconvening of the Fani hearing, I think they said was happening potentially on Friday. So this is so what we saw on Thursday and Friday was the response to the motion to quash, which is the motion that was filed by one of the defendants named Roman, who Ashley Merchant is representing. She filed that motion to disqualify Fani from prosecuting the election interference due to the conflict of interest with Nathan Wade. That's really what all that is. Also, as it was introduced, the motion to quash, Nathan Wade's wife also, because of that brief or the motion that was filed regarding her husband and Miss Willis, she got subpoenaed to come and testify in his divorce case. So these were like some sidebar hearings. Number one, that's why some of the matters of the divorce came up. It's coming back on Friday. So yeah, no, that's still going on and they're still listening to arguments, but no decisions have been made. And I think it's coming back on Friday because they also wanted to make sure they had the same court secretary. They wanted to have the same secretary. So okay, guys, let me let y'all go. I'm gonna see you guys over at Real Talk Bougie. We're not gonna be over there long, I promise, because I have something to take care of. But I wanted to talk about something, and now I'm a little bit behind. So anyway, we'll come back to her. I mean, sis is giving a whole doctoral presentation on, I don't know. I think this is kind of
part 9 of Who the Fuck
she
Did I
spent
Marry?
like her whole damn
So
day
we're
talking
pausing
about
on
this
the house
dude.
stuff. Let me tell you about the car. So when I 2.5, which was a sedan, I did not like that. I wanted an SUV.
I'm kind of like, ma'am, I'm sorry, sis. You got done. I almost feel I'm kind of like, all this? You got to come on TikTok 11 times? Sis, you're still hurt. You're giving, I might be wrong, guys. You guys tell me. It's giving, I'm a little obsessed with the fact that I got done. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm not here for it, but maybe I'm understanding how you got done. So, because you, girl, you bought it lock, stock, and barrel. Oh, she made a whole folder. Girl, she made a whole entire, here it is. Huh. Let me give you guys her TikTok. Sis is like, look, I'm getting ready to quit my job. I want to get a social media thing going. And I guess this is how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, girl. She looks mad
Stack of
there.
red flags. It was more than stack. If we're going, let's put some respect on the red flags. It was the parade of nations that you see at the Olympics. So
It's giving a little bit of I finally got some business. Are you guys getting this at all? It's giving a little bit I finally got some business. I have something to talk about. I'm almost like, okay, sis. Yeah. If she wants to go down in history as that girl, I guess, yeah. Okay, let me stop. Let me just stop it. But we'll revisit and see what sis is up to if she's still with the shits. But this was her yesterday.
if you don't know, that was sarcasm. If you can, if your schedule allows it, watch those videos, watch them in order. I did the best I could to just upload them in order and explain everything that happened to me. That was my story, my testimony. But watch them. If you still have questions and you're like, hey,
What if we watch all of this and find out she's the pathological liar? Would that not be crazy? It's content, right, Jay Blitz? Would that not be hilarious if all of a sudden we find that she's the April Fool joke? Okay, not do a 50-part series on TikTok. Okay. Girl. You listen, when you get done wrong, first thing to do, once you wipe your tears, dust yourself off, pick up your face, move on, and pretend like that shit never. And I said, pretend. You know what happened. You got the scars. They're not visible, but you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and you pretend like that shit never happened. Okay. And you remain cool as a cucumber until Mr. or Miss Right shows up. Okay. And that's it. It's the wisdom. You have the experience, you get the wisdom, and you move on. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go. Sis is over here wallowing in and romanticizing and chronicalizing a bum. This guy shouldn't even be getting any play. I guarantee you he's going to get more play than he deserves. And someone else is going to now probably become a victim sooner than later because she's giving what she says is a narcissist some additional play on the internet, which is exactly maybe what they like, right? The fact that she has done 50 episodes of this is giving me a little concern too. I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments. I'll see you guys later. Make sure to, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button for me, and I'll see you next time I go live.
By the way, friend, I respect you as a reactor. By the way, friend, I respect you as a reactor. By the way, friend, I respect you as a reactor. It's all about clout.